All right, people. We're about to do this thing. Happy Monday. It's Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. Let's get it on. Yes. What's happening, people? How you doing? It's Monday, Metal Monday. That's why the music's so loud. Because that's what we do here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Some of you had a long weekend thanks to the holiday. I didn't. My weekend was especially short. And I think my fuse is about to get short. Thank you, Gun Fox, dropping some articles in the old tip jar, and also a few Hamiltons, which I greatly appreciate. You're single-handedly keeping me afloat this month. Thank you, everyone who's here. Oh no, I got one of those. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. You might experience buffering. Well, we'll see. Anyway, are you ready? I'm late, so let's get this shit going. Oh no, I swore early in this. Well, it's just an S word. They don't care about that so much on YouTube. So let's get it on. Stop that music and let's play the intro. Where's the intro? Johnny, where you at? Johnny, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America. It's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P Dog Knight.
Yes, Queen. Good morning. What the hell is that? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we talk about what happened over the weekend. And the weekend was kind of long, even though we started on Friday. Well, some of you had a 4-day weekend. Some of you didn't. So I worked. I was working. I must have got, we got double time on Friday because we worked on a holiday, so that'll be nice. That'll be nice in the next check. And then I also work Saturday morning. We're on a 6-day schedule at UPS because it's that time of year that that is known as peak. And I don't mean like peekaboo. I mean like the Pikes Peak. We're on the top of the mountain, throwing them packages down the hill so they make it to Santa's sleigh, and so on and so forth. So it's funny though when you work at UPS. You get a glimpse into what some of the hot things that people are buying are. And I probably should just pay attention to that more closely and maybe use my inside knowledge to, do what those politicians do. But, it seems like apparently, and also working at midnight, you get to see a lot of things that are manufactured or put together here in Minnesota. And one of the things that we are seeing a ton of are those those arcade games. Like you can buy the old arcade games. Like they have one that's tabletop. That's like this one, for example, is a Marvel one that has Marvel games, X-Men and stuff like that you play head to head. Those are huge this year, or at least they're sending a lot of them out. I don't know if they're sending them, over to Amazon to send out, or they're sending them to stores, but there's just a ton of them going out. And I don't know how much they cost. I think they're only about $100. I should probably look up how much they cost, but it looks like that's going to be one of the hot items this year is the home, kind of old style arcade games. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, they look pretty cool. I mean, it just brings back memories of, when you go to Pizza Hut, there's usually one sitting over in the corner, and while you're waiting for pizza, you go over play a game, right? Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means. So anyway, but yeah, so it's kind of wild. So there's a lot to talk about today, and I really want to I have Ireland on my mind, just because there's a couple things I saw that are trending right now, talking about what the Prime Minister and some of the lawmakers in Ireland are trying to do. And then we just got a lot of update from the weekend. So let's get as much as we can in before I have to leave, which I do have to leave today. At a normal time, I can't run into the 3-hour mark today. So anyway, let's say hi in the chat and get it going. So first in the chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell and his theme song. Good morning also to Mike Savage, Blarg, and Jimmy Dawes Hotep Nation. And if you're happen to be watching on Rumble, if you have a Rumble window open, just put a hi over there, and then they'll acknowledge you over on Rumble. Looks like, let's see how many people are watching Rumble according to my handy dandy list. It looks like there's 10 besides me, so 11 on Rumble, but only 3 of you said hi. So say hi on Rumble if you're watching over there. And I don't mean hi like, you ate too many gummies like I did that one time. I mean like hello. Say hello. Anyway, YouTube first in chat is Somnambule Nation. Way to go. Oh, I didn't tweet out the show, did I? Well, damn. Maybe I should do that too. Well, I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'll bet you Somnambule Nation did it for me. Yes. Oh, no. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, you did. I'm going to just retweet you. There you go. I'm going to retweet you. And I'm going to retweet. Oh, wait. News and more. Oh, wait. At the hell, the Gunfox Fine and more on the P-Dog Night Show. Oh, I see. Yeah, you did that. And thank you, Gunfox, a.k.a. Mac Wolf. I'm going to retweet you. And looks like Jimmy Dawes Hotep did the Rumble version 2, so I'm going to retweet you. Thank you for all of you who retweet out the show. Now you can just retweet them. In fact, if you follow me on Twitter, you can do that. All right. Also in the chat on YouTube, Mr. Avocados Diablo, good morning. Kara Soldier, Jesse Leon, Gunfox61, Trippy Liberty. What's up, man? Nice to see you back. Dom O'Leary. I didn't say Dom O'Leary. Hi, Dom O'Leary. Nice to see you back. Simon Wolfwood, Rick Ashbringer, Brandon Narlo, Mike Savage, Blarg, Attack Alpaca, GDSOB, Tyler F, and let's see. Oh, there he is. The Grand Inquisitor. Oh, wait, it's Tyler Alexander, the Gentleman Lich. I just saw your name and started out with the Grand Inquisitor, and I'm like, oh, damn, that's not what I meant to do. Anyway, hi, Tyler Alexander, good morning, and who else? Special K on Acids here with the new Abby. Amazing Disgrace. I think I got about everybody. Is that everybody? I don't know. Oh, you worked for time and a half yesterday. Yeah, so we got UPS. We get paid for the holiday on Thursday. And Friday, they count as a paid holiday, but you get double time on Friday. And then Saturday was the 6th shift, so I get time and a half for that. So this next check is going to help pay for some shit that I got to get caught up on, like some of those medical bills. Oh, man. Let's see. Who else is that? Everybody? James Stoner's in the house. Nice to see you, James. And I said Amazing Disgrace, but I'll say it again in GDS. Okay, I got everybody. All right. Let's just get into a couple things trending, and one of them is Ireland. So, and I'm not going to do a lot of them because Gunfox dropped a few articles, and I got about 25 articles open, and mostly I'm just going to touch on the headlines mostly today, just because for time's sake. But let's get into interesting trending topic, and I didn't on from Politico, and this is trending in the Twitter sphere. Okay. Formerly known as Twitter, the app formerly known as Twitter. Biden's polls apparently getting worse. And this article in Politico has me wondering a single question. Cryptic, what's up? Welcome over on Rumble. Nice to see you over there. And I'm not going to send nudes. Sorry. Okay. Biden's polls are getting worse, and it brings up a question that I have for y'all, which, of course, what my prediction was the second Biden got elected, that he would not end up on a second term, right? And in fact, may not even run. I didn't think he'd still be president as of today, but we'll see what happens. Okay. P-Dog already run out of time. Well, I'm running out of time just because I see what my list looks like. That's what it looks like. Anyway, So first, let's go through the article. Polls keep getting worse for Biden. Trump's vote share in the national polls is higher than at any time in the past year. Yeah, Trump be thumping Joe Biden, and maybe in some states they weren't expecting. November started with New York Times Siena polls showing Trump ahead in 4 of the 6 swing states, but more indicators of Biden's electoral peril soon followed. The president standing in head-to-head matchups with Trump is falling. Among the latest surveys this month from 13 separate pollsters, Biden's position is worse than their previous polls in all but 2 of them. You know what? Because brothers and sisters are starting to see it too. They're like, I don't like that racist Trump, but damn, things were better when Trump was president. I hate to say I told you so. I'd love to say I told you so. I'm sorry. Anyway, so while the poll suggests that most of the movement comes from voters abandoning Biden, shocker, who might become undecided but not swing to supporting Trump, the Republican has started to gain steam. Trump's vote share in the national polling average is higher now than at any point in the past year. State-level data is just striking. In addition to those New York Times Siena polls, within the last week and a half, other surveys have shown Trump ahead by 8 points in Arizona and 5 points in Michigan, land of Gretchen Whitler. Holy shit, that's amazing. And then, let's see, Biden's recent slide and his political predicament, some 11 months before Election Day, represents a confluence of slippage and with reliable Democratic constituencies like young voters, the outbreak over the war in the Middle East, and the rise of independent and third-party candidates who could siphon votes from both Biden and Trump. Well, and he's losing young voters. They're like, well, the young voters, because they're all for Palestine, right? And they're all like, yeah, Palestine. We know all about Palestine. It's 75 years because Palestine's history is only, well, what is Palestine? Well, I don't know what Palestine is. Palestine is a name the Romans gave it. And so it's not even a name given to it by the so-called Palestinians, but we're for Palestine and we wanted this and that. Anyway, his approval rate is in the shitter. Let's just put it that way. I think that's, you can read the rest yourself because it'll be in the links. Like I do every day, I drop the links in the description, in the chat and whatnot at the end of the show. All right. So anyway, poor Joe Biden. Poor Joe Biden.
Your life makes me sad.
It's just is what it is. Sorry, Joe. Okay. So, the question. I never told you what the question was, though. The question was, will Joe Biden be on the presidential ballot? I'm going to make a poll. I'm not even going to do it. I'm going to do a poll over on YouTube, and on Rumble, you can just put yes or no. Will Joe Biden be on the ballot? Presidential ballot. Ballot. In 2024. There you go. There's the poll. Bink. All right. Oh, I wasn't even on live chat. Did I miss people because I was on live? So it's because I was on top chat. Hello, Anna Lynn. I see you there. Brandon Arlo, I think I said already. Yes. Anyone else showing up? Did I miss anybody else? I feel bad if I did. So anyway, will Biden be on the ballot? Ooh, this is 100% yes so far. I kind of think he will. I don't know. I almost think like Democrats would shoot themselves in the foot either way, leaving him on or taking him off. Because if you have to suddenly throw in Gavin Newsom or you have to throw in somebody else, or here's what I think here's what I think might happen. He will either come down with an illness. They foreshadowed that. He mentioned. Remember he mentioned that once. He was talking about it. How the plan. Well, if something happened, the plan would I would just suddenly get sick or something and step down. Now he was talking about when he was vice president, but it's not unusual that they might have that plan in place. Because remember, Biden's controlled. If you don't believe he's controlled, I don't know what I can tell you. He's on the strings, right? He's like, Pinocchio before he became a real boy. So, he might either get an illness or he might just pull a Lyndon Johnson, realizing there ain't no way that the handlers are going to say, look, Joe, let's be real. look at what's happening. You're getting beaten by Trump. You're getting beaten by Trump, man. There ain't no way. We can't do this. And everyone knows you're a brain-addled fool and just a dumbass, because you always have been. And we can't hide it anymore. We can't put you on the campaign trail. We can't hide you because of COVID, although they are, all of a sudden starting to hear rumbles about a new disease going through China, Oh, well, are they going to try that shit again? But anyway, I don't know. I personally don't think, I think he's going to pull a Lyndon Johnson. He just knows how bad, they gotta know how bad it is. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Now, there's some other trending topics, but I'm going to go right into the one that caught my eye the most, and that was what's happening in Ireland. Let me just check this list here, because see if it's updated. Everything that was trending this morning was football, except for Ireland. Oh, Cyber Monday's trending. Well, do I give a crap about Cyber Monday? Not really. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll put a link. I'll put the trending tab link in there for Cyber Monday. But in the world of, here's the thing. Where's that button? Where's that button? This button. Where is it? This one.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
I don't care about Cyber Monday. I mean, if you want to go buy some shit on Cyber Monday, go get online later today and see if there's any good deals. I don't believe necessarily that the deals are really deals that you can't do some other time, but it is what it is. So it'll be in the links. I'll put Cyber Monday in the links. But anyway, let's talk about Ireland though. And then we'll do Ireland, then we're going to do Gun Fox's 3 articles, and then we'll do the lightning round. So does that sound good, people? So, this stabbing incident in Ireland has gotten a lot of people in Ireland riled up, and rightfully so, right? We're finding out that the person that carried out this attack was supposed to have been deported some 20 years ago from Ireland. He had a violent history, and all of a sudden, he's out here stabbing children, right? And the reaction, though, from the government of Ireland, the current government, is to attack the people who are calling them out for this incident and calling out the surge of crime from immigrants, right? And it's so they're seen as anti-immigrant, kind of like how they do here. You say if you highlight something that someone does that is not supposed to be here anyway, when they do a crime or something, oh well, immigrants commit crimes at a lower rate than naturalized citizens. Yeah, they always say immigrants as in oh yeah, the naturalized citizens, the illegal immigrants do. But how about you do a subset that's just illegal immigrants? And also the fact that every illegal immigrant committed a crime to get here. But they don't want to say that. But even if you count that, if you separate out legal immigrants versus illegal immigrants, I bet you that ratio becomes very, very, very different. But anyway, the reaction of the government, and we'll start with Prime Minister Leo Varadkar, or whatever, however you say his name. We get this little ditty, him talking about what his reaction is people are saying bad things about the people who committed this crime. Maybe we should increase our hate speech laws. And so here he is on Sky News, or them talking about it. And the headline here, even this right here, Varadkar pledges to modernize laws against hatred. You mean Varadkar. Thank you, Mike Savage. So there again, laws against hatred. So you're gonna make thought illegal. Is that what you're saying here? Is that what you're saying here? It is right here.
In addition to that, I think it's now very obvious to anyone who might have doubted it that our incitement hatred legislation is just not up to date. It's not up to date for the social media age. And we need that legislation through, and we need it through within a matter of weeks, because it's not just the platforms who have a responsibility here, and they do. There's also the individuals who post messages and images online that stir up hatred and violence, and we need to be able to use laws to go after them individually as well.
Now, what's unbelievable, though, he's not talking about the person who committed the knife crime. He's talking about the people criticizing the people who are committing the knife crimes. He's criticizing the criticizers. So, for example, and this is wild. They are investigating Conor McGregor for speaking out on this. And so I'm looking at here's the trending time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me, there's also an Irish senator that made an incredible speech. I'm having a hard time keeping my brain going right the way I'm Bidening right now. Let me start here, because there's a bill in the Irish, whatever you call your government, okay? Because everyone calls their government something else. It's a bill in Ireland that the government's trying to pass that will literally jail you for memes you have saved on your phone. And here's a part of the bill that people keep highlighting. Offense of preparing or possessing material likely to incite violence or hatred against persons on account of their protected characteristics. Subject to subsection 2 and 3 in section 2, a person shall be guilty of an offense under this section if the person A, prepares or possesses material that is likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or a group of persons on account of their protected characteristics or any of those characteristics with a view to the material being communicated to the public or a section of the public, whether by himself or herself or another person. And the second part, prepares or possesses such material with intent to incite violence or hatred against such a group or persons, on account of those characteristics or any of those characteristics, or being reckless as to whether such violence or hatred is thereby incited. So look, now the second part, I understand if your intent is to incite violence and that's what you're doing, right? But wait a minute. When you say prepares or possesses material that is likely to incite violence or hatred against a person or group, determined by who? Who determines if it's likely to incite violence or hatred? And what do you define as hatred? Okay, so me making fun of, how about an editorial cartoon complaining that these people, that people did this crime? You know what I mean? It's thought crime. It is completely thought crime. So anyway. So then you get people like this senator. Let's see, where's she at? It's the next one. Wait, what happened there? Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a senator in the Irish government speaking on why this is so important. And get a load of this. Okay, listen to this.
When you think about it, all law, all legislation is about the restriction of freedom. That's
okay, all law and all legislation is about the restriction of freedom. Yes, that's why you should be very careful and thoughtful about what kind of laws you pass. Now, so she got that part right. All laws are about the restriction of freedom. Yes, sort of. See, like, for example, our Constitution is, at least the Constitution, is supposed to restrict the government, not the people. But anyway, let's see what else she says.
exactly what we're doing here, is we are restricting freedom, but we're doing it for the common good.
Oh, we're doing it for the common good. Isn't that special? I always love it when I hear that phrase, for the common good, yes, we're going to restrict your freedom for the common good. We're going to restrict your ability to think things and have things that may make you think. Hello, Maddie, by the way. To restrict and think things it's for the common good. I remember when my son's university changed, like they had their theme for a year. They for the common good. Now it sounds good when you say, "Oh, for the common good," but look. Sometimes the common good is to allow individuals to thrive and do on their own, as opposed to teach a man to fish, not give him some fish, because if you give him some fish, he'll be standing at your door asking for fish every day. Don't feed the deer, right? If you feed the deer, they're going to be at your house all the time eating food, and then they can't survive in the wild. 11, oh my gosh, voted for this again. 11 voted against the bill and every other party voted for it. Oh God, that's brutal. That's brutal. So anyway, let's let her finish her sentence here. For the common good. She started with the common good.
You will see throughout our Constitution, yes, you have rights, but they are restricted for the common good.
Oh, yes, you have rights, but they're restricted for the common good. Well, then you don't have rights. You either have rights or you don't. But for the common good, they're restricted.
Everything needs to be balanced. And if your views on other people's identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure...
Wait, I'm sorry. I stepped over that. This is very important, because listen to her language here. Okay, listen to this language.
Identities go to make their lives unsafe, insecure, and cause them such deep discomfort that they cannot live in peace, then I believe that it is our job as legislators to restrict those freedoms for the common good.
Okay, wait a minute. So, if their feelings are hurt, if you cause them, if your thought causes somebody else discomfort, then you should be restricted. Now, I always wonder when you say something like that, discomfort. Okay. When someone's what if you call somebody a racist and that causes them discomfort? Are you going to restrict the person who called them a racist freedom? I bet you're not. But that's discomfort. It's not comfortable to be called a racist. That should be hate speech. Oh no! Now I know that's not going to be it. And look, and let me just give you a caveat here. Fuck the racists, I don't care. But you could that would cause them discomfort. Oh, wait a minute. They're not part of the protected class. If you're Indigenous Irish, it's funny. It's so funny how the Indigenous people everywhere are so important everywhere in the world. And look, I'm not even a white guy, but I'm half Irish. It's so funny how the Indigenous people are so important everywhere in the world except for Europe. Except for Europe. The Indigenous people are the most important people in that land. Even if they're the majority. Oh, it's just weird, isn't it? Isn't that weird? I just don't understand it. The Indigenous people of Ireland. So anyway, a few other notable parts of this. The trending in Ireland. Here's another foreigner committing crime in Ireland and walking free because of, quote, mental health issues. The Algerian stabber walked free from a court in May because of mental health issues. 6 months later, he stabbed children. So this person apparently was released 6 months ago? Man who made sexual racial remarks to scare Dublin shop workers spared criminal record. Ishan Markan went to make sexual comments to the arresting Garda when he was found after the incident. Oh, he was suffering from mental health issues. Oh. Well, the man threatened a frightened shop assistant in the city center store, making sexual and racial comments and leaving her visibly shaken. Wait a minute. Isn't that causing her discomfort? He caused her discomfort, but he didn't go to jail? Ishan Marka went on to make sexual comments to the arresting Garda when he was found after the incident. Judge Brian Smith spared him a criminal record after hearing Markan was suffering from mental health issues at the time and wanted to be arrested. He applied the Probation of Offenders Act, leaving the accused without recorded convictions. Markan pleaded guilty to 2 counts of threatening, abusive, insulting behavior on August 22nd this year. So he did it again, and now, well, I'm sorry, his discomfort spared him from jail, because this time discomfort of having mental health issues spared him from jail. Isn't that special? Also, let's see. And then this is not, and it's funny, it's weird. So here's another one. And this is in Ireland again, and Ireland's trending, so I'll just bring these out. Breaking, 6 Uzbeks have been sent forward for trial for terrorism offenses in Ireland. Well, at least they're gonna at least go to trial. One of the men, named Oybek Jabarov, a former inmate of Guantanamo Bay who was resettled in Ireland in 2009. Yay! Isn't that special? Well done. Well done. So anyway, they were financing international terrorism, sent to trial. There's a couple Irish nationals in this. 6 people facing a series of money laundering and international terrorist finances charges have been set for trial. Uzbek and Irish nationals, including a grandmother of 50. Now, when they say Irish nationals, does that mean they're just naturalized Irish citizens? Or are they indigenous Ireland? I wonder. Including a grandmother of 50, are facing more than 200 charges between them in what has been described as a complex case. The 4 men and 2 women had books of evidence served them at Dublin District Court. Judge Brian Smith returned them for trial in Dublin District Court. Anyway, the names here, they put all the names. Okay, okay, wait a minute. Okay, let me see here. Fatim Jabarov, Muhammad Amin, Dawood Mashabi, Dotterbrook Terrence, that might be, okay, wait a minute. Dotterbrook Terrence Ballycullen are charged money. Oybek Jabarov, Atikum Amat, Abdurim Mahabi. Okay, that's where they're from. Okay, listen, 6 people. Wait a minute. Uzbek and Irish nationals. Okay. How many of these are native Ireland? Fatim Jabarov, Muhammad Amin, Dawood Mahadbi, Oybek Jabarov, Atika Mahamat, and who's the last one? Abdrahim Mahabdi. Yes, Irish nationals. Definitely. Yes, Lord Stanhope. Great. Definitely Gaelic names. Yes, they're absolutely Gaelic. Oh my gosh. It's so funny how they try to sanitize articles like that by making sure Irish nationals. Anyway. Now, here's another one in this genre of the Ireland trending thoughts. So they're downplaying what really happened. A gang of Algerian Muslims stabbed 17 teenagers at a music festival in rural France. Oh, this is in France, but again, it seems to be a theme of the Algerians doing this. Why are the Algerians so involved in this? This has just happened. A gang of Algerian Muslims stabbed 17 teenagers at a music festival in rural France. 1 died from his injuries. This comes just days after another Algerian Muslim stabbed 4 children in Ireland. Now, and let me clarify too, I'm not demonizing Algerian Muslims. I'm just saying that's quite a coincidence that they just happen to be Algerian Muslims. Here it is. French society at risk of tipping over after murder of 16-year-old teenager Thomas in Cripple, says government spokesman Oliver Véran, whatever. The spokesman Oliver Véran also assured that we must have listen to this. This is the great part though. The spokesman, Oliver Veron, also assured that we must have the courage to say things. Can't stand these violent gangs anymore. We neither. What cost Thomas's life was neither a news item nor a brawl. There is a risk of society tipping over if we are not up to the task, he declared. We do not respond to violence with violence, but with justice, concluded the executive spokesman, referring to this weekend's ultra-right demonstration at Roman Sirloin's. So people were protesting the fact that there's another murder in, and they listen again, referring to this weekend's ultra-right demonstration. Saturday evening, around 80 hooded activists marched near the Monnier district in Romans-sur-Isère before confronting the police who arrested 20 people. So there was a demonstration. But what's going on what's up with the Algerians? And if you're not familiar, Algeria is in northern Africa here, just between Morocco and Tunisia. Yeah, what the hell is going on? So, all right. By the way, I meant to tell you, Gunfox, you are the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. He's up at $30. I just accidentally cleared the board just before the show, not realizing he had dropped his Hamilton's earlier. But thank you so much, Cryptic, for sponsoring the show on Streamlabs. Says, yep. They sound super Irish. Yeah, thank you for dropping the big bullet, 556. Yeah, those names sounded really Irish, didn't they? And then also, I'm sorry, let me put my face on the screen. Thank you, Tyre the Sage, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. Says, Indigenous people means anyone who isn't white or anyone who we use as a shield to protect our shitty ideas. FTG that cunt and the Irish president. It is time to whip out the shillelaghs, you know what I'm talking about, shillelaghs, and start fucking someone up. Damn, Tyre, that is a little harsh, but damn, my friend. I'm sorry. Is it shillelagh? Whatever. Start handing out white pennies or red crosses on the front. Oh, good Lord. So anyway, yeah. So what the hell's going on in Ireland? Now here's another one too. Oh, and this is so. Speaking of the Varadkar saying stupid shit. So, as you know, some of the hostages over in Israel are being released, right? Some of the hostages in Israel are being released from Hamas, and then Israel's giving them like 3 prisoners for every 1 hostage they release. But there's a ceasefire, a temporary thing, which is a boon for Hamas. You know, they can regroup and get ready to fire more rockets. But anyway, the Irish PM, here's what he said about one of the people who was released, and then he got a community note on it because it was kind of weird how he said it. Here he is. This is a day of enormous joy and relief for Emily Hand and her family. An innocent child who was lost has now been found and returned, and we breathe a massive sigh of relief. Our prayers have been answered. Now, here's the community note, and this is precious. This is a precious community note. Emily Hand was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists on October the 7th. The use of the term lost is inappropriate and fails to highlight that she was released as part of a hostage deal. And it's even here. And look, the BBC News. Let's open that bad boy up. BBC News. I mean, this is unbelievable. Emily Hand among Gaza hostages free on Saturday. It's the damn headline. At least the BBC got it right. What's his name? Leo. Listen to this. Listen to what Leo said again. This is a day of enormous joy and relief for Emily Hand and her family, an innocent child who was lost. Taken away by people with a knife to her throat, lost. What are you talking about, you asshole? God damn. Unreal. Unfreaking real. Well, she was just lost. See, so all this stuff was happening, and then she ran and panicked, and they couldn't find her. And then they found her in a desert oasis 20 miles away from where she got lost at the concert, and she was surviving on water and scorpions. But we found her. That's not what happened, Leo. Leo, you dumbass. What the? Again, trying to sanitize it. Now, when he said this, was he just trying to avoid being put in jail under the law that he was trying to pass by not causing any discomfort to the Hamas terrorists who might have, because when you call them kidnappers and murderers, you might cause them discomfort, and then you would have to send yourself to jail. Just what the fuck? Oh, brutal note there. Unfucking believable. So anyway, thank you, Cryptic, again. Another big bull in the tip jar, and which is 556. Ireland has been cucked for 2 decades. They are as left as you can get. They are part of the EU after all. Well, I'm not going to dispute what you're saying. Looks like our poll is in. Looks like 32 votes. 32 votes. That means 32 people are here. Damn. Nice to see you all here. 78% says Biden will run or will be on presidential ballot in 2024. 22% no. I'm kind of in the no category. I really do think that the Democrats and the handlers are going to they're going to see the light and realize, because right now Biden can't beat anyone in the Republican field. Biden can't beat anybody. His best hope is that some of the third parties, the Robert Kennedys and some of the other, because Robert Kennedy will run third party if he doesn't get the Democrat, which he's not going to get the Democratic nomination, but he'll run third party. If Biden drops out, Kennedy will not get the nomination. It'll be Gavin Newsom or some other jackhole. And I don't think Gavin Newsom can beat most of the other candidates either, because everyone's just sick of the fucking Democrats right now. Biden, for as much as Democrats can run on abortion and get all the dummies, young dummies to come out to vote, it just hasn't worked for Joe Biden's is a dead weight even if he doesn't run. That's how bad he has been. So all right, let's get into Gun Fox's article real quick, and then we'll go back to we'll just get through the other headlines of the day. Let's move these where I can see them easier. What is this? Oh! I missed a couple. Hang on, I forgot. I missed a couple. Also, so I mentioned Conor McGregor earlier, and apparently he is reportedly being investigated for online hate speech after he expressed anger over the stabbing of 5 people, including 3 children, and blasted Ireland for their mass immigration policies. And this is Chai Raychek, who's Libs of TikTok, who runs Libs of TikTok. Here's the story. Martial arts superstar Conor McGregor is being investigated by Irish authorities for online hate speech after he expressed anger serving of the children being stabbed in Dublin. Over the last week, McGregor has been outspoken about the impact of mass migration is having on his homeland, remarking, "Ireland, we are at war in relation to the chronic housing shortage that has made basic living unaffordable for many citizens. Do not let any Irish property be took over unannounced. Evaporate said property. It's a war." And then here it is. Isn't that something? The absolute picture of weak and feeble. The most divisive of all is the weak man. One of the most horrific crimes this nation has ever seen has occurred. We do not care anymore what you sad cases have got to say. In a war, you are nothing. We are not backing down. We are only warming up. There will be no backing down until real change is implemented for the safety of our nation. We are not losing any more of our women and children to sick and twisted people who should not even be in Ireland in the first place. Call it what you want. We do not care. May God help us all. Ireland for victory. So he's being investigated now for online hate speech. Hate speech. And then finally, let's see. Oh, but hey, there is good news in Ireland. There is good news in Ireland. Vanessa Lacey is an AGP. This is which is autogynephile. Anyway, a trans person. He gets off on pretending he's a woman. He wants taxpayer-funded experiments on children, puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, surgery in Ireland to validate his fetish. If you disagree with this, you're the same as a rioting criminal. So here's what they highlighted here. Vanessa Lacey, founder of Gender Care, a gender identity business, said she was concerned. This is the male-identified, trans-identified male. Lacey was concerned about people who are crowdfunding for surgery abroad. The worry at the moment is that people are self-medicating. They're getting what they think are hormones and injecting themselves under no supervision, and then crowdfunding to go to maybe Turkey or Poland for surgery. Lacey said traveling to countries outside the EU with no referral posed a huge health risk. Imagine having to come back from Thailand maybe a few days after a surgical procedure that could last up to 5 hours or 6 hours. Well, thank goodness we've got priorities in Ireland. All right, let's get into Gun Fox's articles real quick and see if my head explodes before the end of the show. Hate speech is now simply stating you don't like violence against children. Pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, this is the first article Gun Fox sent me. Dropped a Hamilton in the tip jar, greatly appreciated. Eat less meat is message for rich world in first food set net zero program. Excuse me. Let me just I just needed to get a little bit of coffee to power me up here. By the way, it's the Gut Eichert. Gut Eichert. I forgot. This is German. Gut Eichert. The world's most developed nations will be told to curb their excessive appetite for meat as part of the first comprehensive plan to bring the global agri-food industry in line with the Paris Climate Agreement. So, you're wondering why that ribeye is $18.99 a pound? This is one of the most read articles from Bloomberg. The Global Food Systems Roadmap to 1.5 Celsius. The Global Foods... Hello, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
The Global Food Systems Roadmap to 1.5 centigrade is expected to be published by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, according to the COP28 summit next month. Nations that overconsume meat will be advised to limit their intake, while developing countries where underconsumption of meat adds to the prevalent nutrition challenge will need to improve their livestock farming, according to the FAO. Well, thank you, United Nations, telling me what I get to eat. That's special. Hello, number one. From farm to fork, food systems account for about a third of global greenhouse gas emissions, and much of that footprint is linked to livestock farming. You know what? Here's the thing. This is incredible, okay? So imagine if you did not eat meat, okay? Let's just imagine this, okay? And they stopped the livestock farming. Would the livestock all just disappear? Are they expecting us to slaughter all those cattle? Are they expecting to slaughter the cattle and just make sure that there are no more cattle? Because otherwise you just got to let them roam free and they'll still be out there farting, right? I mean, remember the buffalo? There used to be millions of buffalo all over the thing. Weren't they farting in a storm and causing global warming back when the natives and whatever, before the Springfield trapdoor 4570 came out? All them buffalo, weren't they farting too? Aren't the cows just going to disappear? The major source of... Okay, so anyway, Food systems account for about a third of global greenhouse gas emissions, and much of that footprint is linked to livestock farming, a major source of methane, deforestation, and biodiversity loss. Although non-binding, it's non-binding. The FAO's plan is expected to inform policy and investment decisions and give a push to the food industry's climate transition, which has lagged on other sectors and commitments. Okay, so here's the other thing too. So now you're wondering, okay, let me think about this. Who's the largest owner of farmland, ranch land in the United States of America? Who's been buying it up like he's about to open up, a whole new Yellowstone? Bill Gates, the guy who wants to lessen the population, right? Good Lord. Hello, TC. TC, what's up? Nice to see you back. Haven't seen you for a while. Anyway, oh my God, the story continues. The guidance on meat is intended to send a clear message to governments. Governments have no say over what I eat. They better not. But politicians in richer nations typically shy away from policies aimed at influencing consumer behavior because it's none of your goddamn business, especially when it involves cutting consumption of everyday items. Livestock is politically sensitive, but we need to deal with sensitive issues to solve the problem, said Danush Dinesh, founder of Climb Eat, which works to accelerate climate action in food systems. If we don't tackle the livestock problem, we're not going to solve the climate. Okay, Danush Dinesh. I'm assuming that's some kind of Southeast Asian name, probably in the area of India, right? I'm assuming, because Dinesh an Indian name? What about all them cows roaming all over India? That's not livestock. They're just rocking around, farting up a storm, and you can't even touch them. If they stop you in the middle of the road, the whole town shuts down, because even if it's a rush hour, if a cow stops and sits down in the middle of the road, you can't even touch it. What? Oh my God. Now they're going to go, if we don't tackle livestock, we're not going to solve climate change. The key problem is overconsumption. Okay, I've been working on that. By the way, did I mention the other day I've lost 30 pounds since my surgery just because I've been eating less? Anyway, the average American consumes about 127 kilograms of meat per year, compared with 7 kilograms in Nigeria and just 3 kilograms in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why are you comparing the United States to the Democratic Republic of Congo? And I kind of want to dispute that a little bit, because my family is from Nigeria, and they may not eat a lot of beef, but they do eat a lot of goat. They eat a lot of chicken. What the hell are you talking about? Now, granted, we Americans are a bunch of fatties, and so we eat a lot more of everything. But, we're also bigger, taller people because of it. And we have higher brain development because of it. Meat does help the brain work a little better. So I'm sorry. I'm not feeling bad. Hello, those ain't real, dude. Lord Stanhope. I said Lord Stanhope earlier. Anyway, the Rome-based UN agency, which you can just stay your ass in Rome for all I care, tasked with improving the agriculture sector and nutrition, is seek to strike a balance between the climate transition and ensuring food security for the growing global population. Well, if you let the earth warm up just a little bit, growing seasons in the most fertile land in the world will get longer. So your food security, remember, and guess what? You know what's funny? When I was in Hawaii last year, that's a few months ago. When I was in Hawaii, the average temperature in Hawaii hasn't changed all that much. I mean, it's like it's in high 70s, mid 80s all the time. And they're growing season like year round, and they just grow food like crazy. So I'm just curious, what are they talking about? Again, the most fertile lands in the northern hemisphere are, in where that little bit of extra 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees would make a big difference on growing season. Imagine Canadians up there in Canada, how much your growing season would long for that Canadian winter wheat in Canada if you had a little bit longer growing season. Could you imagine the yields you would have? You'd be able to grow things like a lot of other stuff too. So I'm just curious, when they say ensuring food security, well, a little bit warmer temperature in the world would increase food security, wouldn't it? Anyway, thank you, Jimmy Dodds Hotep, sponsors the show. Another big bullet in the tip jar, who says meat is health food, and they know it. Rivero Health is carnivore-based eating, solving all kinds of sickness. They know healthy people are bad for the pharmaceutical business and ultimately lobbying. These people are crazy, cray. And you dropped me an article too. I'm gonna put a link here from X. Let's see what you dropped here. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. This page doesn't exist. It didn't work, Jimmy. What the hell? Why did that do that? All right. Anyway, back to this one. Where was it? Oh no. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, other recommendation will cover issues from how farmers adapt to an increasingly erratic weather and increasingly erratic weather. No. Weather is always erratic. There's always some disaster. It's just, we didn't hear about every freaking disaster in the world every time it happened in real time. So we're not always, our global communication system allows us to hear about every freaking thing that happens. I don't think people are supposed to be able to know everything that bad that happens in the world. That's part of the problem. We have too much information sometimes. And that's the reason because they, and so when they promote every little bad thing that happens, you think, oh, wow, I don't remember this many bad things that happen in the world all the time. That's because you didn't read the damn newspaper, because that's the only place you could find it before the internet age. Now we know everything that freaking happens in every little corner of the world. If someone farts in Lithuania and it causes a house fire, we know about it because it's a house fire in Lithuania on the internet, and it's someone's sharing it because it's funny as fuck. God. Anyway, so there. Thanks, Gun Fox. That's a good start. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what this one is. This is from the Daily Mail, and yes, okay. Okay, what? Oh my God, what is this? Radical queer female rabbi Jessica Rosenberg, who has a goatee, is blasted for her rabid anti-Zionism after befriending squad Democrats, including Ilhan Omar. I'm feeling some discomfort in my chest. So, okay, the whole headline has me reeling, Gun Fox. The whole headline has me reeling. Jessica Rosenberg made a name for herself crashing Joe Biden's fundraiser. She paid $1,000 to get into the event in November just to heckle the president. She said, it was a small price to pay to share my thoughts with the president. Yes, and he probably said, what? What is she saying? No, you listen here, fat. Radical queer Jewish leader has become darling in the eyes of the left, publicizing her anti-Zionist belief. Rabbi Jessica Rosenberg, who is a dude, made 38, made a name for herself after she crashed Joe Biden's fundraiser at the beginning of November, and as she demanded a ceasefire in the war between Hamas in Gaza and Israel. She paid $1,000 to get into the event just to heckle Biden and admitted in an opinion piece published on This Is CNN. It's a lot of money, but it was a small price to pay for the chance to share my thoughts with the president. Yeah, you didn't really share your thoughts. You just yelled at him and heckled him. The Minneapolis-based rabbi was ordained in the Reconstructionist Rabbinical College in Wyncote, Pennsylvania in 2018. I wish Wu was here so I could ask about the Reconstructionist Rabbinical College. And if is that just some whacked out leftist, or is that an actual rabbinical college? Anyway, she is also a member of the Rabbinical Council for Jewish Voice for Peace. the far-left pro-Palestinian activist groups. So I'm betting that this person's not originally Jewish. Anyway, her raging anti-Zionism, especially as a rabbi, has made her a popular figure among the left-wing Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives. Yes! But she has also been slammed for only taking her stance out of fear. Oh, that's an interesting twist. Mort Klein, president of the Zionist Organization of America, explained, extremist Jews like Rosenberg, who are truly the most pathetic and frightened of all the Jews, their position of appeasement, they believe this will protect them from our enemies physically harming us. This is fear. This is not an ideology, reports the New York Post. Follow the rabbi's confrontation with the president. She met with Minnesota's Representative Ilhan Omar this month. That was a terrible sentence by the Daily Mail, because that was the sentence with a comma in the middle of it, and there was two sentences that don't even have any congruence. She wrote on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, she, look at this, that's she, looking like Albert Einstein there. I was honored to meet with Rabbi Jessica Rosenberg, a proud Minnesotan. That was, wait a minute, who? Oh, that was, who wrote on X? In our powerful conversation, we agreed that true peace can only happen when the current violence ends. I sincerely pray for an immediate ceasefire and the safe return of all hostages. Rosenberg has also made its opinions clear in the media. It told CNN that anti-Semitism needs to end, and that is how you stand in solidarity with Jews. Well, here's the confrontation. This is it here.
Mr. President, if you care about Jewish people as a rabbi, I need you to call for a ceasefire right now.
Okay, so that was the confrontation with the president. Why? I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here. That she said, I want to say, I know there are many non-Jews who believe that supporting Israel in this war is how you to stand in solidarity with Jews. I want to say that ending anti-Semitism in all places that Jews live, that is how you stand in solidarity with Jews. Oh, you mean like Gaza? You mean, oh my God. It's almost a contradiction in terms. She says, okay, let me read that again. She said, I want to say, I know there are many non-Jews who believe that supporting Israel in this war is how to stand in solidarity with Jews. I want to say that ending anti-Semitism in all places that Jews live, that is how you stand in solidarity with Jews. Okay, nope, I got a mistake there, because they don't allow Jews to live in Gaza. So I guess that I made a mistake there. Anyway, in her opinion piece, she also says that people are using historical anti-Jewish violence like Adolf Hitler's Holocaust of 6 million Jews, the Russian pogroms, and the traumatic centuries-old diaspora of the Jewish people as an excuse to support Israel. Yes, that absolutely right. That's probably a good reason to support Israel. She wrote, it has caused me profound anguish to see how centuries of anti-Jewish violence are being used to support violent political agenda in the form of Israeli militarism. Yeah, because there was a group that in a place that wasn't controlled by the Jews that started a war with the place that is a multicultural society. And the multicultural society said, no, we don't want you killing a bunch of people over here. And so since you declared war on us, we're going to end this war with, more bullets and bombs. And, and again, I feel bad for the innocent civilians that are getting caught up in this. But that's because you need to free Gaza from Hamas. And that's what the Israelis are trying to do now. Rosenberg also sports a goatee on her media appearances. Pink News reports that the rabbi is believed to have PCOS, a syndrome which can create an overproduction of male hormones in a woman. Oh, so this is a woman leading to excess facial hair. Rabbi Jessica Rosenberg stood up during Biden's speech in Minnesota, told the president, as a rabbi, I need you to call for ceasefire now, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so I guess Rabbi Rosenberg's just a gigantic woman with facial hair. It's hard to, yeah, and that happens. There are women that have facial hair, but I don't know why she's growing out, because that's just her, because she's kind of a hippie too, I guess. I don't know. Thank you, Gun Fox, for another one that is causing me discomfort. Don't go to Ireland because I will report your ass. All right, finally, Gunfox sent me this one too. Conservative judges have come for what's left of the Voting Rights Act. If a reason appellate court decision stands, it will eviscerate the ability of minority voters to vindicate their right to vote. No, that is incorrect, because no one's passing laws to make it so minorities can't vote. See, the Voting Rights Act was enacted because there were places where minorities were not allowed to vote, and those laws aren't coming back. And so, not that I'm against the Voting Rights Act, but there's certain reasons why its time is done. In fact, many of those places where they had the problems are controlled by black people, like in Alabama, Georgia, lots of places like that. So I'm not sure what the issue is here, but let's read this MSNBC columnist with an opinion piece. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard. On Monday, 2 conservative judges on the U.S. Court of Appeals in the 8th Circuit voted to gut what is left of the Voting Rights Act. If the decision stands, it will eviscerate the ability of minority voters to vindicate their right to vote and signal open season on judicial precedent. The VRA is a landmark piece of civil rights legislation passed in 1965. It guards against voting practices and procedures that deny or dilute the right to vote on the basis of race. Right, like the gerrymandering and shit. President Lyndon B. Johnson and the members of Congress, President Lyndon B. Johnson, the most racist president probably in modern history, and members of Congress who supported the act understood that it was necessary to prevent states and localities from discriminating against minorities exercising their right to vote. And again, look, oh, good Lord. Hello, Cindy Bishop. There can be no doubt of the act impact. It is the most important piece of federal legislation aimed at protecting voting rights. Despite the law's importance and effectiveness, in 2013, 5 conservative Supreme Court justices gutted key portions of the act. Since what are you talking about? The portions where that some states have to get approval from, special approval to get things to change boundaries when they're one party or the other is in control? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Since that ruling, Section 5, the portion of the act that requires cities, counties, and states with a history of discrimination to check in with federal government before making changes to their voting rules and practices, has been effectively a dead letter. Yes, and okay, is it time for it to come? How is that? Should that be in perpetuity? Are any of these places? Remember, Atlanta's one of those cities. Well, Atlanta's controlled by black people. Do they have to check in every time they try to make a change? It's whatever. As late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg decried in her dissent, limiting this pre-clearance requirement when it has worked and is continuing to work to stop discriminatory changes is like throwing away your umbrella in a rainstorm because you're not getting wet. No, because you can. But in that ruling, the majority of the court's conservatives told us not to worry, that minority voting rights would still be vindicated by bringing suit under Section 2 of the Act. That section has allowed private individuals, groups, and federal government to sue states and localities over laws that deny or abridge the right to vote on the basis of race. Yes, that's exactly correct. These suits often involve things like district maps or voter identification rolls, and with the death of Section 5, Section 2 has borne a much greater burden. Well, yeah, because you can't just you got to prove your case. That's okay. Just because you say so doesn't mean that someone's doing wrong. You got to prove your case. 2 members of the 8th Circuit, one appointed by President Donald Trump and one appointed by President George W. Bush, Republicans, have now put Section 2 squarely in their crosshairs. The judges affirmed a lower court ruling that concluded that only the federal government can bring suits to vindicate voting rights under Section 2. A third judge, also appointed by Bush, dissented. Divided panel's ruling would eliminate the ability of individuals and groups to bring the overwhelming majority of Section 2 cases to sue. Judge Raymond Grinder and David Strauss came to their decision after reading the language of the act in a vacuum. They determined that because the language of the act didn't specifically give individuals and groups a private right of action to sue, that no such right exists. This goes against our understanding of the act since its inception, including decades of case law, right up to the Supreme Court and the legislative history of the act itself. In his dissent, Chief Justice Levensky Smith noted that over the last 4 decades, only 15 of the 182 successful Section 2 cases were brought only by the federal government. Even a Department of Justice that makes the protection of voting rights a priority can never substitute for the many private individuals and groups that bring suits under Section 2. Smith concluded that he would follow existing precedent that permits citizens to seek a judicial remedy, rights so foundational to self-government and citizenship should not depend solely on the discretion or availability of the government's agents for protection. Now, I can kind of agree with that a little bit here. I hate it when they say, okay, you're going to sue, I'll explain this in a minute, that you don't have standing to sue, right? And that's what this was knocked down. I don't like that when it happens to people on the right. So, for example, in all these Trump cases on the 2020 election, where most of these cases were dismissed because, oh no, the person bringing the suit doesn't have standing. Only the government can bring that suit or something like that. I don't think that's right. You should always be able to file, a grievance against the government on any of these things. So I'm a little bit suspect on this. And if, you know what I mean? So that's interesting. At this moment, Section 2 is much like Schrodinger's cat, both alive and dead. The future seems destined for the Supreme Court. Not only does the Eighth Circuit's ruling challenge the Supreme Court's assumption about the act, but another federal appeals court, the Fifth Circuit, recently concluded that Section 2 does not include a private right of action to sue. Only the members of the Supreme Court can rectify such a circuit split. At least 2 members of the 9-member court, Justice Thomas and Neil Gorsuch, question whether individuals and groups can, in fact, bring lawsuits under Section 2. Indeed, Thomas and Gorsuch's musings may have been a siren song to the judges on the Eighth Circuit, especially since Strauss, the author of the majority opinion, previously clerked for Thomas. One would hope that the rest of the members of the High Court, conservative or not, won't appreciate the lower court's judges who thumb their noses at Supreme Court precedent. That's the other part, too. I hate, although there's such thing as bad precedent too. Remember Plessy versus Ferguson. Anyway, interesting. And so they're decrying the fact that, oh my God, this conservative court might stick with these guys. Who knows? All right, let's run through some headlines and get the hell out of Dodge. Hello, Tex AG 007. Headlines today. Netanyahu has visited the border at, visited troops in Gaza, and then Gallant visits the Lebanon border. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited troops in the Gaza Strip on Sunday, taking advantage of a 4-day pause in fighting to tour the front, encourage the soldiers, and renew Israel's commitment to destroying Hamas when the truce ends. According to the Jerusalem Post, Netanyahu, a former Special Forces soldier, is the first prime minister to visit Gaza in 2 decades. Damn, that's pretty bold. I'm sure they didn't announce that visit because Hamas has been out there and doing some crazy shit. But so that's wild. That's a long time for a prime minister not to be in Gaza. In the Daily Caller, Hamas has released a second group of hostages. We know about that. There's a whole article about that. What's interesting is that a lot of Palestinians, they were being brought in ambulances, whatever, and the Palestinians were out there heckling them. In fact, here it is. Palestinians in Gaza City taunt Red Cross vans carrying Israeli hostages, even as Hamas terrorists looked on, according to Al Jazeera footage. The footage circulated on social media showed masked and armed Hamas terrorists, many riding pickup trucks in the same style used during the October 7th terror attack in Israel when gunmen and trucks murdered Israeli civilians in communities near Gaza. The footage also showed a critically ill Israeli hostage, Elma Avram, 84, followed by footage of the Red Cross vans with other hostages circling in Gaza City in northern Gaza. So, they're heckling the people that are being released. Legal insurrection. Netanyahu says Israel will extend ceasefire for release of 10 hostages per day. So as long as you keep releasing the hostages, we'll stop destroying your ass, Hamas. In the past 3 days, we've seen almost 40 Israeli hostages reunited with family in Israel. No one could look at the scenes and the release hostages and not be happy. But Netanyahu says as long as they keep releasing hostages, we'll continue the ceasefire. Big article on that. Daily Wire. Qatar's prime minister dodges questions on the future of Hamas inside their country during an interview over the weekend about what would happen to Hamas leaders that are living inside Qatar. The question comes after the terrorist organization murdered 1,200 Israelis. I don't know that they have to tell us that every single time, but I get it. When asked during a Sunday News interview with Margaret Brennan on CBS News Face the Nation about the whereabouts of the Hamas commander Yahya Sinwar, Sheikh Mohammed responded by saying that he had no idea and claiming that the country only deals with the political representatives of Hamas who live in Qatar. Yeah. So, and he reassured that a relationship with the United States is strong, whatever. But yeah, so he doesn't want to talk about any of the Hamas people who are in Qatar. Legal Insurrection report: U.S. Western-funded Palestinian schools celebrated the October 7th massacre. A newly released report by an Israeli education watchdog uncovered that the U.S. and Western government-funded Palestinian schools celebrated the brutal killing and maiming and raping of hundreds of innocent Israelis in the Hamas October 7th massacre. The Palestinian schools, many of them run by the PLO-controlled Palestinian Authority, cheered the Hamas terrorist attack that killed more than 1,200 Israelis and others. I don't know, why are we funding the schools again? Can they get some aid from somebody else besides us? While the civilized world reacted in horror to the atrocities committed by the terrorists on October 7th who massacred around 1,400, again, they have to tell us every time, but I get it. It's, if you read in the article for the first time, you know what the hell's going on. At least 7 schools in the West Bank, which are operated by the Palestinian Authority, have openly and publicly celebrated the massacre, the report found. So that's not good. Why are we... They receive millions of dollars each year from the U.S. and its Western allies, and, you know, they're celebrating the massacre. Okay. Daily Caller: high schoolers riot over a teacher who attended a pro-Israel rally. Hundreds of New York City high school students participated in a chaotic demonstration protesting against a teacher who publicly supported Israel, according to the New York Post. Oh my gosh, a New Yorker that supported Israel? God, I can't imagine that there would be any New Yorkers who would support Israel. My God. Students at Hillcrest High School in Queens protested for nearly 2 hours over a teacher who posted a Facebook photo of herself in attendance at a pro-Israel rally. The teacher reportedly held up a sign reading, "I stand with Israel," per the outlet. The teacher was seen holding a sign of Israel, like supporting it, the student told the outlet. Other students conspired to expose the teacher in teacher's support for Israel to the rest of the school. A bunch of kids decided to make a group chat, expose her, and talk about it, and then talk about starting a riot. So they had to have a lockdown. Here, let's just. So good God, because their students flooded the hallway chanting slogans such as "Free Palestine." The mayhem reportedly included shouting and screaming and waving Palestinian flags, pro-Palestinian banners. Student reportedly engaged in a failed attempt to force entry into the teacher's classroom. Okay, you have a little demonstration, whatever, but that's threatening a teacher. There's got to be some kind of consequences. You got to be kidding me. Breitbart: 3 Palestinian students shot Saturday night in Vermont. 3 Palestinian students were shot Saturday evening in Burlington, Vermont, just before 6:30 p.m. while walking near the University of Vermont campus, according to reports. ABC 7 pointed to a statement from the Institute of Middle East Understanding, identifying the 3 wounded students as Hisham I'm going to butcher these names, Awantani, a student at Brown University in Rhode Island, Kinan Abdulhamid, a student at Haverford College in Pennsylvania, and Tashin Ahmad, a student at Trinity College in Connecticut. All students were reportedly in Burlington to visit a relative of one of the 3. They were walking when approached by a man with a handgun who fired 4 shots. 2 of the students were wounded in the torso and 1 in lower extremities. Fox News quoted Burlington Police Chief John Murad saying, without speaking, the alleged shooter discharged at least 4 rounds from a pistol and is believed to have fled. Okay, I'm curious. The shooter and possible shooters have not been apprehended. Bernie Sanders reacted to the shooting with the post on X. It is shocking and deeply upsetting that 3 young Palestinians were shot here in Burlington, Vermont. Hate has no place here or anywhere. I look forward to a full investigation. My thoughts are with them and their families. Do you think this was... Do you think that perhaps this was a random shooting and had nothing to do with them being so-called Palestinian? Like, just, this is, that it has, now, if they were actually shot, I mean, that's not good, but I'm just curious. How exactly did the gunman know that they were Palestinian? Could this just have been some violence that happened to them? And they happened, because I don't know, where was this guy? Because they're all visiting. They're not even there. They go to school in different places, and they're in Burlington visiting a friend. I mean, I don't want to say Jussie Smollett vibes, because if they actually got shot, but I'm not buying that this could just be a random shooting. It just happened to be these 3 guys. That's weird. Attempted robbery gone wrong. That's what it sounds like to me. So they don't know it was hate. And I'll give them credit in the article, at least not Bernie Sanders. But how can you assume it's hate if you don't have a suspect and you don't know why? How do you know that this wasn't someone who knew them and thought they were assholes? I'm just curious. In illegal insurrection, emerging anti-Israel protest tactic disrupting American Christmas tree lighting ceremonies. Oh, is that what's going to start happening now? Anti-Israeli leftists have now disrupted shopping on Black Friday and the lighting of a town Christmas tree in Nantucket. Joe Biden was on the island for the Thanksgiving holiday and was at the tree lighting when chanting broke out in the crowd. These people are incapable of allowing anyone to enjoy anything. Free Palestine protesters interrupted Nantucket Christmas tree lighting with President and his family. Biden is accused of genocide at the event with Jill Hunter and baby Bo. Yeah, Joe Biden it's Joe Biden's genocide.
Excuse me, this is a community free riding. We respect your right to free speech. We'll just ask this is not a political event. We respect your right to free speech.
All right. Hello, Tales of Gore, by the way. Breitbart, Jewish USC professor barred from campus, targeted by anti-Israel activists with a doctored video. Here, USP Professor John Strauss saying every one of them should be killed, and I hope they all are, while passing by students who organized a memorial for the 10,000 plus Palestinian martyrs killed this past month. Wait a minute. So here, hold on. So the video, there are 2 videos. University of Southern California economics professor John Strauss, who is Jewish, has been barred from campus because of a doctored video circulated by anti-Israel activists who claim he said all Palestinians should be killed. In fact, as the full video clumsily included here by anti-Israel activists shows, Strauss was referring specifically to the Hamas terrorist organization. Video 1, should all be killed. I hope they are. Video 2, you people are ignorant, really ignorant. Hamas are murderers. That's all they are. Every one of them should be killed. I hope they are. So they cut out everything but should be killed, and I hope they are, and then said he was talking about all the Palestinians. And so he's been banned from campus. I hope that they have some reprieve for that guy. Tommy Robinson was arrested in London at a march against anti-Semitism for causing harm and distress. Hey, this is like the Irish law. He caused alarm and distress because he's protesting against anti-Semitism. The whole article's here. Also in human events, Aaron Elmore, U.S. Airlines pilot who called Hamas brave people, has been suspended too. Now, I'm not in any more favor of this either. All he said was, let's see. For all my friends here in Facebook or something, with questions, thoughts, assumption, critique about what's transpiring in Palestine currently in response to the Zionist occupation, please work on expanding your media literacy. Know that mass media here in America is heavily politicized and skewed to show a non-occupying narrative of Palestine. This is a resistance by a brave people who have endured decades of occupation, oppression, humiliation, apartheid, and straight-up murder. Now, he can be completely right or completely wrong. I don't care. He just said that they're brave people. Look, the citizens in Gaza and whatever, kind of have to be brave. I mean, this is a shitty situation for them. They have to, deal with Hamas and Hamas, the consequences of Hamas's action, which is their leadership, and it's hurting a lot of people in the Palestinian areas. So they suspend him for that. I don't know if that's right either. Fuck, come on, get have some common sense. All right, the rest of the articles, I'm going to have to leave it go. I'm just going to go headlines. Samantha Pearson, head of the Sexual Assault Center, fired for denying Hamas Nazis committed any rapes. So this lady got fired because she's supposed to be part of she's a sexual assault center worker, and then she denies the rapes in Israel. And that's special. In Breitbart, Chris Christie excuses anti-Semitism as a reaction to Trump, of course, because I'm not even gonna read it. I don't have time. Nancy Pelosi's daughter caught on hidden camera admitting January 6th was a hoax. On January 6, 2021. Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra Pelosi, was filming events surrounding her mother for a documentary. I've seen this before. That's old news. Come on. I don't have time to get to the rest of the headlines. Thank you, American Company, another longtime sponsor of the show. And I'm going to finish with this. Having protesters stopping your fun event, we got something that can help. Oh, that's a question. This needs music. Having protesters stopping your fun event? We got something that can help. This brand new from the hardwoods of the Kentucky mountains with a new soft handle to help protect your hands from the shock to keep you in the game. American companies, American made. I'm assuming a brand new bat made of hardwood. Thank you, American companies, with the new batons and bats, specially made to with a new soft handle to help protect your hands as you use it. American companies, American made, and a longtime sponsor of the Morning Night Live. Thank you very much. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for me to go. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Night Live. Lots of people showed up today. Lots of likes. Hit the like button though if you haven't already. 40 people. There's 29 likes. Same thing on Rumble. But that's it. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Maybe I'll even have an outro that works. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Live. We'll be back tomorrow and all that stuff. Wait, where's the outro? Let me fix that. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's supposed to reset when I play it. Restart the playback when source becomes active. Okay, we'll try it. See if we get an outro. Stop that music. Thank you for joining me. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye. Bye. And of course, it didn't work. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.